Unlike previous games, the Leafs aren't trying to hide it heading into Game 6. Auston Matthews is out again. Chris, what can you tell us?
Well, it's a really difficult situation for Matthews, obviously, to miss 2 potential elimination games at minimum. We've seen him skate the last 3 days, and Thursday did look like a bit of progress, just in terms of the amount of time he was on the ice, somewhere around half an hour with the team's development staff. Some of the drills we saw him doing, skating a little bit more, but he's just not in a position right now where he can go. In fact, one source told me it would be reckless for him to try and play through the injury that he's picked up since initially playing through an illness earlier in the series. So it's kind of a confusing situation in the sense that obviously the team isn't offering clarity. It is the playoffs. You don't expect that at any point. But, the fact of the matter is Matthews can't play Game 6. I'm not even certain he's going to be able to get into a Game 7. But right now all the Leafs can worry about is trying to force that game and give him a chance.
The Leafs managed to win without him in Game 5. But scoring is still a struggle for them. Just the 2 goals in that game. They could really use something from William Nylander.
Yeah, and look, William's gone 13 games without a goal if you track it back to the regular season, and hits a crossbar in the last game, had a really good chance getting in alone on Jeremy Swayman. But I do think that he would be feeling as much weight as anyone entering this game, just given the way his season ended, not in a way he liked from an offensive perspective. The fact that now he and Mitch Marner and everyone else in the lineup, John Tavares, a little bit more being asked of them with Auston Matthews out, and let's face it, the Leafs not scoring at all in this series, less than 2 goals per game in a 5-game series. Not going to be good enough, you would think, to win it ultimately, and so they need a little bit of offense somewhere. I look at number 88 in blue as someone who's got a chance to do that, and maybe saw him, after missing the first 3 games of the series, look more like himself in game number 5, which, if you're trying to chart the direction things are going for him, maybe it's a sign of things to come here in Game 6.
5 shots in Game 5 for William Nylander. So the Leafs are facing elimination. They've lost 6 straight games at home in the playoffs, and yet it feels like there's a lot of pressure on the Boston Bruins tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact they blew a 3-1 series lead to Florida last year in the first round seems to be, coming up again and again. Almost caught me by surprise, not being around the team on a daily basis, but they're getting a lot of questions about it. Jim Montgomery mentioned, he even brought it up with the team and basically said, we've grown past that. Like, we're not going to look at that because we've grown through that experience. But they're under heat here. I mean, look, they lost Game 5 on home ice, badly outshot in the first period. A game the Leafs played without Auston Matthews. You'd think a great opportunity for Boston to just end it. They're facing the same scenario now. They do not want to go home, obviously, to a winner-take-all Game 7, even if it being at TD Garden. With Matthews again being out, I mean, you just don't want to give the Leafs any life here. And you get the sense the Leafs have a little bit of life. They're talking about planting that seed of doubt on the Leafs side of things. And so the Bruins, they're facing it here as much as that they've, had kind of control of the series, only trailed for 20 minutes total across 5 games. They still have some pressure on them, too.
Joseph Woll starts again for the Leafs. Jeremy Swayman starts again for the Bruins. He did not seem too worried this morning. Swayman coming off the ice here, trying to fist pump the folks who work at Scotiabank Arena, and they weren't having it. They didn't want to fist bump him. They were having a good laugh. Swayman seems relaxed heading into Game 6.